Hi everybody, this is Atheist Brit here. This is a response to a tag from Christine Peace, thank you Christine, which was entitled Tag Questions for Atheists. So I wasn't entirely sure how to approach this tag thing, seeing as this is my first ever tag. So what I decided to do, after a little bit of advice from Christine, thank you, was to knock one question off the front of the list that she answered and add one of my own questions on the end. And then that way we don't end up with a great big long list of questions for the people that I tag at the end of this video. So, first question was views on abortion. Now I feel quite strongly on this one. I think it should be every woman's right to choose. If you look at situations where abortion is either illegal or made very difficult, you end up with very similar rates of abortion. It's just that they're all done in backstreet clinics and, you know, all those other horrible sorts of things, which endangers the mother's health and well-being as well as the unborn baby. So it's, you know, you actually end up losing in that situation. The same number of abortions happen, but then you've also got the complications for the health of the mother as well. So definitely should be legal and safe and with as little restriction as possible, because it's never an easy choice. You never see women jumping and skipping to the clinic. You know, it's always the lesser of several evils. So yeah, death penalty. Well, we don't have the death penalty in England, but obviously now I'm in the US, the death penalty is in place in quite a lot of states. It's not really something I've explored a huge amount, really, so I'm not going to pass it entirely, but my views may well change if I'm exposed to more evidence, because I just haven't seen that much. But it just seems to me that it would be a horrible thing to happen if somebody was falsely accused and then they were killed and then they were found out to be innocent, which I know has happened. I don't know how frequently this has happened, but I know it has happened on occasion. So to me, I think a life sentence would be better, and I actually think it would be more of a sentence, if you see what I mean, because it's, you know, when you die nothing happens, there's nothing there. It's more of a punishment, I think, to, you know, rot in a cell, really. So that's my view on it. Economy. Well, I'm not an economist, I can't really comment too much on this, other than that the economy is kind of in a big hole right now, and that goes for America and Europe. The only thing I will say is that a few years ago, before this big crash actually happened, I said to my husband, you know, the way that Gordon Brown was running the British economy was very, very hot. Everyone was borrowing on everything. You know, they weren't just borrowing money, you know, for a mortgage they couldn't afford. It was they were borrowing money for a car, and they were borrowing money for a huge stereo system, and they were borrowing money to go on vacation, and, you know, all these other things. People were borrowing. And I said to my husband, because it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work this, or an economist to work this out, that can't go on forever. And as soon as the worldwide economy just slips just a little bit, then everything's just going to come crashing down. And sure enough, that's what happened, because America's economy went down the pan, and Europe's and Britain's in particular followed suit. So that's all I've got to say about that. Drugs. Well, I think you can't really lump all drugs into one category. Hard drugs, I don't really have an opinion on. I think hard drugs, definitely. I mean, they cause a lot of problems, a lot of social problems, a lot of, you know, that they fund a lot of crime. I don't really know exactly how to solve that one, but I don't think they should be legalised. But marijuana, for example, I mean, if you take a look at marijuana and tobacco and alcohol, marijuana is probably the least dangerous of the three, and yet the other two are the ones that are legal. And we all know that prohibition doesn't work. So I think rather than criminalising alcohol and tobacco, that's not what I'm saying at all, we should in fact decriminalise marijuana to come in line with its status alongside nicotine and, well, tobacco rather, and alcohol. Seems to make more sense. Gay rights. Well, I agree with Christine on this one. No such thing as gay rights, it's human rights. And gay people are humans. It seems ludicrous for me to have to say this, but there are a lot of bigots out there that think that who you are sexually attracted to actually matters, unless it's obviously a child, because that does matter, an animal, because that matters, because neither of those two can consent. Children can't consent and animals can't consent. That's the reason it's illegal. Mature adults, on the other hand, can consent, and so whoever they decide they want to love or to sleep with or whatever, that's none of my business, and it's none of your business, so keep your nose out. That's all I've got to say on that one. And Christine's question, what author, dead or alive, would you eat lunch with? Now, I thought long and hard about this one. I would like to say Douglas Adams too, but seeing as Christine already said that, let me think of another choice. And my other choice, I think, would probably be Sam Harris. I would like to talk more about Sam Harris, to Sam Harris about his ideas. I like some of his ideas, and I've only read one of his books. So I would like to, firstly, read some more of his books, and secondly, talk to him more about some of his ideas, because I think he's a very interesting person, and I think the conversation would be pretty interesting. Now, my question that I'm going to add on the end, and answer myself. What's your favourite TV show, and why do you like it so much? Well, my favourite TV show, which I've loved since I was about 11 years old, and first saw it on BBC TV, is a TV show called Red Dwarf. It's no longer actually running. It ran from 1988 to, I think it was 1999, and then they recently did an Easter special called Back to Earth, which I haven't yet seen because I don't dare. I've heard mixed reviews about it, and I don't really want to spoil what I love from the past. Series 8 spoiled it enough. Anyway, for those of you not in the know as to what Red Dwarf is, which will probably be a lot of Americans, because I know it's shown on BBC America out here, but a lot of you may not have seen it. So it's a sci-fi comedy, like a sitcom, but in space. And I like it because I've not really seen another TV show like it. It's kind of unique. I mean, there may have been things done since, but it certainly at the time was the only sci-fi comedy I had ever seen. And the situations and the jokes just make me laugh so much, and I can watch them again and again, and I still laugh just as hard as the first time. So that's why I like it so much. So my tags: I tag AngryLittleGirl, PoDReligion, Deconverts, Chris the Atheist 1, and xxxThePeachxxx. And I hope you guys enjoy answering these questions as much as I've enjoyed it, and see you guys again soon. Take care. Bye.